Hey, it's DeagleBeagle, and this video I wanted to cover all the, not all of it, but almost all of the good Eviolite Pokemon. I believe it works with Braviary. If it does, I know for a fact on Showdown at least it works with Stantler. I think actually, let me check Braviary if it even evolves into Hisuian Bravery for. Oh shoot, it doesn't. So you can't use Eviolite with Braviary because you would have to use Eviolite with its pre-evo because they must have the same dex number then. Yeah, I think that's the same dex number as Braviary. Anyways, um, so you forget Braviary. I know you can use it with Quillfish though because it evolves into Overquill. You can get the I forget what this must be the Hisuian Quillfish that evolves into the Hisuian Overquill, or I guess you could just call it Overquill, and you could use it how I used it. And I do have a Quillfish video. I should link some of my other videos in this video of how to use them because I talked about Quillfish in depth. You could just switch out the item to Eviolite with it. Same with the Stantler video, just switch it to Eviolite. Murkrow, you probably already know the standard set is probably usually Eviolite or Sash. It's usually Eviolite though, and sometimes Cover Cloak, but usually Eviolite with like, you can even look it up on Picolytics and whatnot. The most common stuff like Murkrow, let's see what it is. These percentages are not totally accurate, by the way. Um, it's really more percent for all of these. It's just not accurate because the data is not all come in or something yet. It's weird because it worked last year, like every other year. All the data came in. I don't know why it's having an issue this time, but Foul Play and Tailwind, you can see are probably the most common moves. And then after that, I'm surprised Haze is not higher than Taunt. I think it's because it's inaccurate. Normally they pretty much all use Tailwind, Foul Play, Haze, and then the fourth move, different ones. Like either Quash or Protect or Icy Wind or something. Sometimes Snarl or Parashock. It just depends. Okay, and then usually people use a little bit more special defense than defense on it because it usually walls the defensive attacks a little bit better, but maybe not now with the shift in the meta. I know people are using a lot more defense than they used to. I used to see like almost no defense and just like max special defense and HP. I'm like, I don't think I agree with that. I would probably use some defense with it. And yeah, people are mostly using some defense now. And then Ursaring, it's not gonna be that good with Eviolite because you normally want to run Flame Orb or maybe even on Quick Feet. You have to run Toxic Orb because Facade, yeah, it ignores you have a burn, but if you use like Quick Feet and you use like any attack like Close Combat or Earthquake, you're gonna be burned. And I think um, here, let's even go to it on Bulbapedia. I could just tell that the damage was lower, and I was like, why? And it's like, I guess Flame Orb doesn't make it immune to its attack going down from Flame Orb. Only if you use Flame Orb with Facade. So it doesn't say. I don't know. I just know because of the damage Stomping Tantrum did with, I think or High Horsepower, I mean, did with it to a Pokemon like Goldingo. I was like, why did it do so little? So I don't. I mean, you could use Guts or Quick Feet. Let me see if Quick Feet works if you're asleep. Status condition. I don't know if it works while you're asleep. Does Quick Feet work while asleep? If it does, you might want to use Rest Sleep Talk. Oh, it does say sleep. I don't think Guts work. Guts doesn't work while you're asleep. Watch Guts ability works while asleep. I think it doesn't, but like every other status it does. Um, oh, it says it does, but only in Generation 4. I think it used to, but I don't think it does anymore. See, I controlled F sleep and it doesn't. I don't know what non-volatile. I forget what non-volatile means, but it really should add more details to it. I know it. I just know it doesn't work while you're asleep. While you're asleep. No, this must be. Well, I could be wrong. Maybe it does do it while you're asleep, but I believe it used to, but doesn't do it anymore. Um, I think. Yeah. See, I think they it used to, but they changed it. I'll double check though on that. If it did, I'd probably run guts with it, and use rest talk. But I don't think I would recommend that because I don't think it works that way. Um, okay, but anyways, if it you could use rest sleep talk, with it with quick feet. So actually, it might not be bad, and use okay, maybe I'm thinking of facade. Okay, I know for a fact people used to use guts Heracross with rest sleep talk for that reason, but okay, yeah, maybe I'm thinking of facade. Let's look it up really quick. Facade. Does it work if you're asleep? No, it doesn't. Okay, so actually, I don't know. It might work if you're asleep for guts, so maybe just use guts for sleep. I was thinking if it wouldn't work for these, you could get burned or put asleep and stuff. So if you're not using sleep talk with it, then probably use a nerve. But if you're using sleep talk, I would probably use, well, not facade. Then you would probably want to use like double edge, or what does it get? Does it get some sort of ghost move? Because you could use Shadow Claw with Terra Ghost to wall a fighting attack if you had to. Or you could use Yawn. Nah. I don't know. I would probably use Double Edge and High Horsepower. You have pretty good coverage because the only things that resist normal are Steel and Rock, I believe. Typing chart Pokemon. If you look it up, what resists normal? Just rock and steel. Oh, and ghost. So ghost would be hit by the high horsepower. Gengar and other Pokemon might be weak to it too. Annihilate would take neutral, but you would hit most things for decent damage with double edge, and you would have recoil, but you have rest and stuff, so it probably will do fine. I'll actually have to test this one out because actually I think guts might actually work with sleep talk. It's probably just facade I was thinking about that wouldn't work with it, and probably you might want to use a little bit more bulk and not max out the attack, but you would want adamant nature probably, or brave if using trick room. But I wouldn't use this type of Pokemon in trick room. You should probably be using flame more with it, or something with guts if you're using trick room with it. But I would use a decent amount of attack, but also maybe some special defense. And this would be pretty bulky, and pretty offensive too. And then, if you're not using rest sleep talk with Ursaring though, I would probably use, what? Oh, I spelled it wrong. Ursaring, or I'll just copy and paste it. If you're not using rest sleep talk, I would probably use, what's another good move? Maybe close combat or hammer arm. Maybe ice punch and Low kick might be decent. Play rough would be good. You could use, oh yeah, you could use play rough with it. Maybe Shadow Claw, like I was saying earlier. But you might want to use play rough with it and use Terry normal, or Terra Fairy with it, with play rough. So you can hit those fighting Pokemon that are trying to kill you, resist them, and hit them a little bit harder than if you used Shadow Claw. But you could use Shadow Claw too if you wanted to be totally immune to them. You could use Shadow Claw with Ghost, unless there's some other move that's better than Shadow Claw. I don't think there is. Yawn is another idea too. You could also use Yawn Protect. Does it learn Detect? No. Yawn Protect. So you could use Yawn Protect. You could probably use a different, you might actually want a different ability. Well, Guts would be good in case you were burned or whatever. But if you're not unnerved, you could stop them from using their Citrus Berry or Resist Berry. So it just depends on what you want to do. And then Murkrow, we already went over that. One. This one we haven't really gone over. This actually has pretty decent stats compared to to Talonflame. Let me show you that really quick. It has almost the same attack even and defenses. Let's see the difference in base stat total. So Talonflame is 499, and then Fletch, that's 382, so it's not that big of a difference. Wait, what is Talonflame much higher in? Really, speed is the main one, and a little bit of everything. Okay, so if you don't need that much speed on it, I mean, this still has a priority Brave Bird. But I think this would be more if you didn't need a powerful hit that much. Talonflame, I don't know why people use other items. I normally use Life Orb with it. That seems like it's normally the best item. Otherwise, if you're not using offensive Talonflame, it's like, why are you not using Murkrow? That makes no sense to me. Like, try to make it survive, just use Murkrow then, instead of Chardy or whatever. And then, what else? You could use Overheat over Flare Blitz, maybe. But you could use Flare Blitz. And then, if you're going to use a bulky, like Flesh Ender like this, though, I'd probably use Will-O-Wisp. What happened? Even though it could miss. And then Tailwind, of course. And then some other move, like either Protect or something that really takes advantage of its bulk. Maybe it would be good with Swords Dance, because even though it would lose its Gale Wings after the first hit, but you could use like Swords Dance with it and have a decent amount of bulk. That's a lot more bulk than Talonflame, or not a lot more, but a little bit more. But not maybe a ton more to make it worth. It's probably not as good as Talonflame overall, but this might be an idea. I don't know if I would run Swords Dance if you just had Brave Bird though. You might want to run like Roost or something, maybe. Roost would give you your priority Brave Bird back, and it does have extra bulk. It would get rid of the rock and other weaknesses too, and it would be decent with Will-O-Wisp. So I'd probably run, if I ran Flesh Ender, I'd probably run something like this, maybe less attack though and more bulk with it, and then I would get you would get the priority Brave Bird again. So probably more defense with it, and I don't think you really need speed with it. Maybe a little bit of speed, but you already have a priority Brave Bird, so probably not. You might actually want a little bit of speed with it to outspeed like Dragapult and Tailwind. You could Will-O-Wisp it. So, what else should we cover? Oh, there's a few more Pokemon. I think I deleted what Pokemon did I delete? Oh, it was Stantler. You can look up my Stantler video on how to use it. So I don't have to cover it in this video. I'll link to it. It's basically, you should use the same one except probably Eviolite over, I think I recommended Citrus because I didn't know you could use Eviolite or some other item with Rest, Sleep, Talk. Or maybe even Lum with Rest. I don't know. Or Chesto with Rest. But I would use Eviolite. I don't think that would really change that much. Unless you're trying to use Rest Sleep Talk with it, then you couldn't use Eviolite. Yeah, let me check my video really quick to see what it was. No, Stantler. How come it's not showing up? How to use Stantler? I need to add better tags. I thought I added them. That's crazy. It's not even showing up. I'll have to add the tags later. Let me see if it even has the tags. Yeah, it has the tags. That's crazy. It's just not showing up. Okay, so Misdreavus is another Pokemon that is underexplored. You might want to use it like this though for countering Trick Room, but I found that it isn't that good outside of countering Trick Room. Like, it counters Trick Room really well. This reminds me of the Imprisoned Trick Room Jellicent I used to use in Dallas a couple years ago, and it did really well. But it actually had some offense. Strength Sap is a better move than Pain Split. So this reminds people of a Dusclops. I think Jamie Boyd had something like this. But I figure give as little HP to it as possible so that you can recover your more HP with Pain Split the less HP you have. In fact, I might want to even take the 4 out and put it in something. But yeah, that's fine. And then, did I compare Girafarig to Frigg already? I don't think so. So Girafarig to Frigg, see, I did the calculation and it's about 28% more bulk from just the HP alone in Frigg. So you have to think about it. This is 153 defense with Eviolite, and it requires an item, and then 28% more than 122 is about that. Let's see. Times 122, 156. So that's more than Girafarig for just the defense on the defensive side, and already has more special attack, and it has lower speed, which makes it better for Trick Room. And then let's look at the special defense. 111 times 1.5 versus 100. So it would have a, you could give it more defense, by the way, too, if you want it. So it does have significantly more special defense or defense, you could say, than Frigg if you were to EV it enough. A better comparison might be to have some more defense and stuff. But anyways, you can see that it may have significantly more bulk, but probably only like 10% more bulk than Frigg. Is it really worth an item like Eviolite when it has probably 10% net total more defense and special defense, and less attack, higher speed, which is bad for Trick Room? It's like, no, just use Frigg, and you can use an item like Safety Goggles or Citrus or Colbur or something with Frigg. So a lot of these Eviolite Pokemon don't really make sense. They used to make more sense when they had like Dusclops and stuff, but that's usually because those Pokemon had almost the same stats as their evolution. But now it's hard to find Pokemon that have about the same stats as their Evo. So Eviolite um, is not that useful in general. But I will have to test out Eviolite Ursaring and a few other Pokemon. So thanks for watching.